We welcome you back to this edition of 5 Talk Street. I'm Scott Murray. In our current economic environment, many organizations, public and private for that matter, are facing the reality of tight budgets. And today we're going to talk about the funding challenges of the Department of Transportation for this great state of Texas, also known as TxDOT, now facing all kinds of situations. Here with me today is Cynthia Northrup White. She is the Public Information Officer Supervisor of TxDOT's Dallas District. Welcome. Great to have you here.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Me.
TxDOT, you're always busy out there, aren't you?
We are always busy.
Reinventing the wheel, recreating the wheel.
And Texas is a big state. I'll talk about the Dallas District. We have 7 counties that we cover just in the Dallas District, and it does not include Fort Worth. Fort Worth actually has a district as well, and they have
its own entity, right?
And they have 9 counties in the Fort Worth District. But in Dallas, there are 7. Just in the Dallas District alone, there are over 10,000 lane miles of roads to maintain. So you can see it's a pretty tall order for what TxDOT has to do.
Now, would that include Collin County then? When we say
yes,
Dallas,
Denton,
we're thinking of McKinney and Plano and Richardson, Allen?
Exactly.
Okay.
And Kaufman, Rockwell, Ellis, Navarro, and of course Dallas and Denton as well.
We talk about challenging budgets in this economy, in this world of ours here in 2011. What is the number one concern that you have day in and day out as to what TxDOT has to do and just the challenges that you have on the table each day?
Well, there's a lot of different things that we do, obviously. I think what we like to try to do is let folks understand what the funding challenge is. When you look at, for the state of Texas, of course, we get our revenue from the gas tax.
Right.
And if you look at a 12-year average, it's about $2.77 billion each year that it has averaged out over the last 12 years. Now that's for the entire state of Texas. When you look at, for instance, LBJ, that project is going to construction. It began. That project alone, just one project, was $4 billion. When you look at the needs just in the Dallas district, it's incredible. So you begin to put all of that in context and say, okay, well, 2.7 or 3 billion per year doesn't go very far across the entire state of Texas when we have 20 projects that are over $1 billion.
Who makes the decision as to whether it's going to be LBJ or we're going down to San Antonio and take care of this? And I mean, who makes all those decisions?
Well, it's a cooperative environment. I mean, you've got the legislature, obviously.
Does it get a little testy at times?
Well, actually, we work really well with our partners here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I mean, we work with the COG, North Central Texas Council of Government. The Regional Transportation Council is their transportation body within that organization. Of course, we work with all of our partners. Obviously, the North Texas Tollway Authority is a transportation provider, and of course, rail. We work with DART as well. So it's really a partnership environment that we have, especially with COG. I mean, that's a body that is made up of elected officials, and they are determining how federal dollars are spent concurrently with TxDOT, and the commission, of course, down in Austin, our governing body for TxDOT, for the agency. When you look at some of the road problems, I mean, why is there a problem? Well, I think you can kind of look around and begin to see when you look at how we're funded. Again, it's from the gas tax. We have 20 cents of every gallon that's collected at the state level and 18.4 cents. So it's 38.4 cents per gallon that's collected for the gas tax. That hasn't been raised since 91 and 93. So to put that in perspective, if you look at the Dallas North Toll Road interchange with State Highway 190, that interchange was built in the mid-90s, 94, 95. When it was built, it cost about $15 million. If we were to build that today, that would cost about $120 million. So you can begin to see the challenge. I mean, it's like trying to live on the paycheck that you earned back in 91 or 93 in today's economy.
So the cost of living increases are not there. So how do they change that, or is that even a possibility at this point?
Well, like I said, funding is a huge issue, and that's the challenge. And then being able to prioritize all the different projects that we have, which I mentioned was a cooperative effort. When you look at some of the other challenges, I mean, obviously the demand has increased, the population in our area. Right now, we're about 7 million in the DFW area. In 2030, they're projecting we're going to be, the numbers are, you know, constantly changing, but anywhere from 9 to 10 million folks in the area. So that is impacting the situation. When you look at the infrastructure, most of the interstates were built in the 50s or 60s. So that's a 50-year, you know, lifespan roughly. So you can, they've gone to the end of their life. So you have a lot of upfront infrastructure capital cost, and when you're talking about expanding the roadway as well. And then of course fuel efficient cars. Keep in mind that the gas tax is per gallon. It's not that static. So just because the price of a gallon has increased doesn't mean that there's more revenue that's coming in. So it's quite a challenge. And then, you know, you looked at, you mentioned what do we do? Not only do we maintain the roads, I mean, those are things that are pretty visible. I mean, if you're filling potholes and you're doing overlays, we're doing some expansion. You have all the other things that we do, all the maintenance issues. That includes mowing. That includes drainage issues. You've got the signage in the area. When you look at, when you're driving in an interstate, you see those overhead message boards. Those are giving messages to motorists to try to help them get where they need to go as efficiently as possible and give them information that will help their drive time. We work with the media as far as access to our cameras that we have all along our system, and those are available actually on our website as well. So a lot of folks, if you're driving, and it's like one of the things we have to think about in our area is like, okay, how long is it going to take me to get there? And this is one thing where you don't have to wait, and no offense, you don't have to wait for the news to come on to show you the cameras. You can go straight to the website, www.TxDOT.gov, and navigate to the Dallas homepage, and you can view those cameras right off of the website, which I use it all the time actually, because I'm driving all the time all over the Metroplex, and we plan our trips according to the information we have. We have alternatives of where we can drive and how we get to our destinations, and so that's a very helpful tool for folks to have. We get contacts all the time from folks coming from out of town, looking to see, okay, what roadways are going to be closed. I mean, in our area, especially in the summer months, we've had a lot of lane closures and things like that with the construction and the maintenance work that we do, a preponderance of that in the summertime, and folks are looking for that information. Okay, well, when is this? Are we going to have any lane closures on 635? Are we going to have any lane closures? Woodall Rogers, I mean, that's a big project right now. What are the lane closures going on down there? So the website really gives them a lot of information, and a lot of that comes from our Transportation Management Center, which is known as Daltrans Center, and that's in Mesquite at our home office based out of
Well, I've got about 30 seconds, so I guess the final question I might ask you, Cynthia, is this. We as the population, as the people that are taking advantage of all that TxDOT does for us day in and day out, keeping the roads clean, keeping the roads nice, keeping the roads safe, and all those good things, what might we do? Over and above having patience, and I don't think I've gone any place in the Dallas-Fort Worth area in the last 3 or 4 years that I haven't hit some form of construction that's being taken. And I realize it's for the betterment of us all, but you have to have patience. Is there anything else that we might do?
Well, we do appreciate the eyes of everybody out there. If you see an issue on the roadway, contact us, let us know. We do have road runners in each of our maintenance sections that get out there, but we appreciate that feedback. And we want to hear from folks. I mean, we want to hear their thoughts, and we want the opportunity to have that two-way conversation with them and let them know. There's some information maybe they don't know that might not make it any easier for them to wait in traffic, but maybe knowing, okay, there's a reason for it might help.
Yeah, there's a lot to be said for that. If you know the reason, okay, I'll put up with it.
Right.
That's right. You are, as best put, a plethora of knowledge, as I have said in the past.
You
were just great. Thank you so much, and thanks so much to TxDOT. We very much appreciate it. Still lots to come. We're coming right back with more of 5 Talk Street, so don't go away.